Today I'm going to show you how to make delicious homemade chicken pot pie. So first off, we're going to start and make the crust. You're going to need 2 sticks of butter, just right out of the fridge, nice cold butter, and you're going to cut it into chunks like I'm going to show you here. Nice small squares, just so it mixes evenly and really well. And I'm only going to cut up 1 stick of butter because you do the same exact thing to the other stick, and then you add it into your mixing bowl. I'm using a KitchenAid in this video, but you can just mix it by hand. I just prefer to use my KitchenAid since I have it. Then once you have all the butter in, you're going to add a tablespoon of salt. Then you're going to add 2.5 cups of flour to your mixture. Then you're going to get some ice cold water. I recommend putting ice cubes in your water, and you're going to add roughly 8 tablespoons of water to your dough. And I'll show you here in a second what it needs to look like, the texture, how you know your dough is completely done and ready to be divided into 2. And I do recommend starting out with only 6 tablespoons of water and then slowly adding more as needed, just because you want to make sure the dough doesn't get too hard and sticky. You just want it so everything sticks together lightly, if that makes sense. Like right here is what you want the dough to look like when you're completely done, just that you press down and it still sticks together. And then we are going to lay out some flour before we roll out our dough, and I already did divide them into 2 pieces, so one for the bottom crust and then one for the top crust. Now I'm still learning to roll out dough, so I'm not perfect at it, but it's alright. It all works out in the end. Just roll it out as good as you can. You want it to be about like 1/4 inch thick to like a 1/2 inch thick. But yep, you just roll and roll until you get about the size of your pie pan. Then you can roll out your other piece of pie dough. And then I do recommend adding flour here and there just so it doesn't stick so much. Like as you see right here, it's kind of starting to stick. And then also adding some flour to the other side when you flip it over, just to make sure it's not sticking to everything. Just a light coat. Then once it's all rolled out, you're going to place it in your pie pan and then cut off the excess on the sides. But first I'm going to push it down and cover the inside as best as possible. And I do try my best to push everything down and kind of fill in the small gaps that are in the dish. And then once that's done, you can just cut around the edges like that. And then you're all done. And now we're going to start on doing the chicken pot pie filling. So it's going to be 2 cans of cream of chicken, 2 cans of mixed vegetables, and then about 2 chicken breasts cooked and cut up. So first we're going to add our cream of chicken. And I am adding both cans of cream of chicken. Then we're going to add our mixed vegetables. Give that a good mix. Then we're going to add our salt and pepper. I measure this out with my heart, but if you want, you can put about 2 tablespoons each of salt and pepper, but I add a little bit more because I like my salt and pepper. And then once that's all mixed in good, we will be adding our second can of mixed vegetables. All right, now we're gonna add that inside our dish here. Then I'm gonna put my chicken right on top. This is already cooked. And then I'm gonna lightly mix that in before I put on the top crust. All right, now I'm gonna take my second pie crust that's already rolled out and place it right on top of my dish. Now you're just gonna wanna go around the edges and cut off all of the excess pie crust. And then I recommend just going around the sides and kind of bunching up, smoothing out the edges. Then we're going to make a X on top for a little opening. Then we're going to add 1 egg to a bowl, mix it well, then add it on top for an egg wash. This will make your crust on top very nice and flaky and golden. This is going to bake in the oven at 375 degrees for 1 hour, and this is what it'll look like after 1 hour. Beautiful, nice, flaky pie crust and a delicious chicken pot pie. Thank you so much for watching.